What's up guys, Houndish here, and today I wanted to talk about some Destiny 2 stuff. First up, we have a hotfix coming this week on the 3rd of January, and this will include some server downtime, so if you want to know about that, then I'll break that down first. This will also affect the faction rally and the Iron Banner. After that though, I wanted to list all of these significant changes that Bungie have assured we'll see inside of 2018. Of course, we've had a lot of conversation about this. I'm sure quite a few of you are very aware of the changes that they've listed already, so I don't want to kind of beat a dead horse at this point. The purpose of this video is to round up all of the significant changes because they have been listed across numerous blog posts and Twitter accounts and things like that. So for people who want a roundup of that stuff, and for people who want to hold Bungie to the promise that we're going to see these kind of changes, then I hope this video will be useful. Obviously, if you know this stuff already, then of course you can skip the video if you want to. So we'll talk about the hotfix coming up in the first week of January in just a moment, but back on December 14th, we had the final Bungie update for 2018. They spoke about the changes that we saw in the December 12th update, and they finished by saying we have more updates to Destiny 2 planned for the new year. Once January arrives, we'll talk about what we have planned for the next one, and then for the one after that. So that kind of suggests that, you know, they're looking at 2 specific updates, and we can expect to see some of this stuff broke down within the first couple of weeks of January. So I'll go over those specific changes in just a moment. Firstly though, on January the 3rd, which is the Wednesday coming up, Destiny 2 will be brought offline for server maintenance in preparation for hotfix 1.1.1.2. The expected duration is 7 AM PST to 12 PM, so that'll be around 3 PM to 8 PM in the UK, and we can expect patch notes for this once it actually drops. DMGO4 did put out a tweet though and said that this will address issues related to the Iron Banner and faction rallies access. Patch notes will be made available alongside the hotfix, and information concerning the timing of these events will be made available in the coming weeks. So of course the faction rally was actually postponed, and this is basically because of the issue where players who didn't have the DLC couldn't access these events, so that will be fixed. Obviously we won't see either of those events in the first week of January, but I'm really hoping if this update, you know, lands and everything's fine on Wednesday, that Bungie will confirm that one of these events, you know, will begin on the week of the 9th of January, and that is of course also when the Dawning ends. So I certainly hope we get one of those events, but we are going to get it very early in January either way. So just be aware of that downtime if you plan to play. But now I wanted to talk about exactly what changes Bungie listed for 2018. This comes from numerous different sources, and I will link every single post in the description below if you want to check out, you know, all of the information. I think it's important to recognize what they've said they're going to do and to have clarity about, you know, precisely what they're addressing. We shouldn't build expectations, you know, around things which they haven't spoken about, but equally I think we should hold them to the things they have spoken about. And considering the dialogue that we had with Bungie, you know, before and around when Curse of Osiris launched, I really think they need to come back in 2018 and prove that things are going to get better. But Bungie have previously said they're targeting a January update to provide better incentives to complete prestige activities. They added that rewards for adventures and lost sectors are still on the radar, but will not be delivered in December updates. And separately, they also said that they're looking to improve on heroic strikes with new challenges, modifiers, and free access for all players. Chris Barrett on Twitter also added, early next year, we're refactoring raid itemization across the game, so not only are they looking to improve prestige activities, but they've added that they want to improve raid itemization across the board. They also added that for private matches in PvP, they are targeting an early 2018 update and expect to have better insight into exact timing in the new year. So we should be seeing an update pretty early on in 2018 where we get private matches. But of course, on top of this, they've also said that they're moving ranked PvP to the top of the priority list next year. Now they haven't said that that's something we can expect very early on, but it should be a subject of conversation as we move through 2018. They also want better incentives for completing Crucible matches. They're going to add a quitter penalty system, which is currently in development. We can expect an update on the deployment of the system in the new year. Also, duplicate protection will be added for exotics in the new year. There was a lot of misconception, I'm not sure whether it was miscommunicated at some point, that the exotic duplication protection was already in one of the Curse of Osiris updates, but that was not actually the case, and that is why, you know, we've experienced a lot of duplicates still. That is something that Bungie have said will be added for exotics in the new year. Also, after Bungie disabled the XP system which was throttling XP, they noted that they see the newly adjusted 160k XP per level means leveling is too slow for some activities, and they have begun a process of collecting data and recalibrating XP earn rates to improve them as quickly as possible. Now I'm pretty sure that that hasn't been changed since Curse of Osiris, price. It definitely still takes a lot more XP to earn bright engrams and all of that stuff, so we should certainly continue to push for that to be improved. Chris Barrett on Twitter also added on a similar subject that they've heard the community feedback on Eververse, they want players to feel respected and to deliver great content. We can expect lots of discussion with the dev team and an update on the path forward in the new year. So we should also be expecting a conversation about Eververse, and Bungie really need to come out with changes that demonstrate, that they care about this stuff. So everything I've just spoken about is what Bungie say is on the priority list for 2018. We also have another list of things which Bungie have said they're looking at. These aren't New Year promises necessarily, but they are being worked on. So they've said they're implementing new mechanisms so that they can limit long dry spells in Masterwork drops due to bad RNG. They'll also be looking at adding some guaranteed sources of Masterworks. They are working on a broader plan to improve prestige activity rewards, and it might wait until then. But of course, if that's the case, they've already said in early 2018 they're going to be looking at this, so we could certainly be expecting some guaranteed Masterwork drop sources alongside the update whenever it happens. DMG added to this post that they've begun plans to add Masterworks to armor as well, and at minimum they want to provide a much requested mechanism to change the armor stat type, so no longer will we be stuck with fixed stat rolls on armor. They add that feedback on armor and weapon mods has been heard. They're looking at ways to ease inventory pressure and ways to make mods a more meaningful part of loadout decisions. Another thing worth adding is that Bungie said when they return to full force in 2018, details will be shared on the feedback that was collected over the holiday season, and these are the subjects of that feedback, so Eververse, Mayhem, Vault Space, Endgame including strikes, raids and item collection, Crucible, including game types and team sizes, sandbox balancing, 3 of coins, and weapon forge questing, as well as more conversation about Masterworks and weapon and armor mods. So that is the full list of stuff that Bungie say they're going to be looking at. Of course, some of those are essentially promises, while others are, just details about their plans for the future. But 2018 is nearly here. Again, the importance of outlining this stuff is to set an expectation, and also to remind us the stuff that we expect Bungie to talk about, and we do need to hold them to it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Either way, it's been an interesting year for D2. Whatever you guys do, whatever you guys think though, I hope that you have a fantastic new year. I wish you all the best. Thank you for all of the support that you've shown me here on the channel this year. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Let's look to a positive 2018. I hope you guys have an awesome new year.